So you're planning on taking your first cruise. Congratulations! After everything we've been through in the last couple of years, we could all use a nice relaxing seafaring vacay. Since you've never packed for a cruise before, you might feel a little nervous. But don't worry, there's no need to get stressed out. In this video, we'll be going over everything you absolutely need to bring with you on your first cruise. So stick around, because Viewcation presents Cruise Packing List and Tips for First-Time Cruisers. Carry-on bag. Regardless of whether or not you're bringing checked luggage, one thing you'll absolutely need on your cruise is a carry-on bag, like a backpack, duffel, or small rolling bag, like the kind you'd take on a flight. Since checked luggage needs to pass through security, just like at the airport, and because there's a chance you might have to wait for your stateroom to be ready, you'll want to have access to all your necessary items like sunscreen, sunglasses, swimsuit, cell phone, medications, and water. You'll also want to keep your passport, credit card, valuables, and other important documentation close by. Luggage Tracker. These convenient devices don't only come in handy when traveling by air. If you put something like a Tile Pro or an Apple AirTag inside your checked luggage, you can see exactly when it arrives at your stateroom or if it gets held up at security. Magnetic hooks. Cruise ship cabin walls are almost always made of metal. That means you can optimize your storage needs by hanging a few of these on the walls to hang your clothing and other belongings. You can also use them to air out wet gear, such as bathing suits, after spending the day at the beach or pool. You can pick up a set on Amazon for less than $10. Sea bands. Getting seasick can put a damper on your cruise time fun. It's kind of hard to relax and enjoy yourself when your head is spinning and you're hugging a toilet. To combat this common nautical foe, pack a pair of sea bands in your luggage. These soft wristbands minimize or prevent nausea and vomiting using acupressure. They're effective, drug-free, non-drowsy, and reusable, and a good alternative to medications like Dramamine. You can purchase them at most major drugstores or online. Wrinkle release spray. Since irons and travel steamers are prohibited on cruise ships for safety reasons, the next best thing you can do to keep your threads looking wrinkle-free and on point is pack a travel-sized bottle of a wrinkle release spray like Downy Wrinkle Releaser Spray. Formal wear. Major cruise lines like MTC, Royal Caribbean, and Carnival usually host formal evenings where passengers are expected to dress up in their finest for dinner. It would be wise to check with your cruise itinerary to see when these nights are and when you'll be expected to abide by the dress code. For the majority of cruise lines, formal attire usually means cocktail dresses, sports jackets, dress slacks, jumpsuits, or pantsuits. If you want to go above and beyond, pack a suit, tux, or full-length gown. Garment bag. To keep your formal attire wrinkle-free, consider bringing a garment bag. These allow you to hang your clothes up in a secure place while also having the ability to easily transfer them into your stateroom closet. The majority of garment bags are equipped with extra pockets for additional storage of accessories. Plus, if you pack smart, you can make your garment bag your only suitcase. That being said, most staterooms have storage space for up to 3 suitcases. Mix and match clothing options. Not only should you make sure you bring along formal wear, but you'd also be wise to pack a variety of mix and matchable clothing items. This is commonly known as a capsule wardrobe, and the best way to pack one is by first choosing a base color like navy blue or black. Next, pack a handful of plain, neutrally colored items that would pair well with your base. After that, add a few patterned items to spice up the mix. It's also a good idea to consider packing reversible clothing items that can easily transition from day to evening. Wine or beer. Most cruise lines allow passengers to bring a couple of bottles of champagne or wine aboard. Check with the line before packing, as some luxury lines even allow guests to bring more than that. With Disney Cruise Lines, for example, you can even bring a 6-pack of beer. Swim cover-ups. After leaving the beach or pool, it's always nice to have something to slip into so you're not walking around the promenade in your swimsuit. Amazon sells a variety of fashionable, affordable cover-ups, but you should be able to find what you need in any big department store as well. First aid kit. It's always a good idea, no matter where you're vacationing, to toss a first aid kit into your luggage or carry-on. You'll never know when you'll need medical supplies like Band-Aids, tweezers, triple antibiotic cream, hydrocortisone, or Aquaphor. You can either make your own kit or buy a pre-made kit at any pharmacy for less than $20. Sunscreen. This should go without saying, especially if you're taking a Caribbean cruise, but make sure you protect your skin from the harsh rays of the sun by packing a high SPF sunscreen or lotion. You might also want to throw an SPF protective lip balm into your luggage as well. Water bottle. One of the most important things to remember to do when taking a cruise is keeping yourself hydrated. Be sure to bring a reusable water bottle to refill at the water and beverage stations around the ship. If you don't already have a collection of reusable water bottles, we recommend picking up one of the insulated variety from brands like Swell or Yeti. Outerwear. Be sure to study the weather forecast and make sure you pack along climate-appropriate outerwear. Obviously, if you're taking a Caribbean cruise, you're going to need different attire than if you were to embark on an Alaskan cruise. For the latter, you'd naturally need lots of layers, like winter hats, gloves, and waterproof outerwear. Even if you're heading on a Caribbean cruise, it might be a good idea to throw a sweater or a hoodie in your luggage. Some parts of the ship might be a little chilly for your tastes, and even this region of the world can fluctuate in terms of day and nighttime temperatures. It's also nice to have a hat on sunny days. Ladies might also prefer having items like scarves or shawls to drape over their shoulders during the evening hours. Party wear. A few of the major lines host special themed parties or voyages where guests can dress up for the occasion. Once again, consult your cruise's itinerary beforehand and make sure you're fully prepared for all the festivities. Poo-Pourri. When you gotta go, but to cut down on unwelcome smells, it's not a bad idea to bring a bottle of toilet spray. Any smell, whether pleasant or off-putting, will quickly fill your stateroom, so do yourself a favor and come prepared. Notebook or journal. Your first cruise is something you won't want to forget. To document your adventure, bring along a journal or notebook so you can look back on your favorite memories, meals, and cocktails. You might also want to take note of details of the various places you visit and the activities you participate in. If you're not much of a writer, but anticipate spending a fair amount of time in your cabin or at the pool, it's never a bad idea to bring a good book to read. This especially comes in handy if the weather gets stormy. Comfy walking shoes. If you're planning to take your maiden cruise voyage on a large, upper-scale cruise ship, expect to do a lot of walking. Some of these ships are over 1,000 feet long and feature up to 18 decks. Plus, whenever you take a shore excursion, you're going to put in a lot of steps as well. As such, you should do your feet a favor and bring a comfortable pair of walking shoes. The last thing you want is to be stuck with only a pair of sandals or flip-flops. Passport and vaccine card carrier. You might need more than just your passport to board a cruise ship these days. In the post-COVID world we live in, many ships require you to also bring a CDC-issued COVID-19 vaccination card. The best way to carry both your passport and your Vax card is to invest in a sturdy, water-resistant card carrier. Electronics organizer and accessories. Since most electronics these days come with different plugs, cords, adapters, and attachments, it's helpful to invest in a convenient electronics organizer bag to keep track of all your items. This goes double if you plan to bring any photography equipment or a laptop. Since some countries use different power outlet standards, you might also want to pack the appropriate adapters to ensure you can keep all your devices charged. Medications. If you need medications, remember to bring them. Also, if you're someone prone to getting headaches, having allergic reactions, or getting seasick, bring things like aspirin, Dramamine, Benadryl, or anything else you frequently use. Credit cards and currency. When traveling to international locales, consider acquiring small amounts of each nation's currency to have handy when in port. Some local markets may not accept credit cards or the US dollar, so come prepared. Also, and this might be a given, don't forget to bring all the credit cards you think you might need as well. Diapers. Last but not least, if you're traveling with little ones who are still in diapers, be sure to bring enough to last your entire voyage. Most cruise liners also require non-toilet trained children to wear swim diapers in the children's water areas. Now it's time to hear from you. Can you think of anything else a first-timer might need on their first cruise? Let us know in the comments section below.